This broadcast is brought to you in part by Hendricks Chevrolet, celebrating 75 years in the Valley, and State Center Community College District, covering Fresno, Reedley, Oakhurst, Madera, and Clovis. Thank you for your support.
From McLane Stadium in central Fresno, this is high school football on CMAC. Tonight's matchup, the Fresno High School Warriors and the host McLane High School Highlanders. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dan Taylor, and joined once again this season by the coach, Fred Clark. And Fred, both of these teams have 3 games under their belt. Those games mean nothing. It all starts for real tonight.
Yeah, these are all league games. Fresno hasn't won. They've shown progress the last couple of weeks. They have a full roster now. They're looking a lot better. I saw them practice this week. They are fiery and ready to play. McLane is 1-3. They've been competitive in 2 of those games. They also are really itching to play football tonight.
Highlanders receiving, Fresno High winning the toss, and we are underway from McLane Stadium. Around the far side, breaking 1, 2, 3 tackles, and in the clear. He could go all the way. Our opening kickoff returned for a touchdown.
No flags, and this was an instance. He got to the outside. He was patient. He picked his holes, aided by some shoddy tackling from the Warriors.
Desir Newhouse taking it all the way to the house for a touchdown on the opening kickoff, and the Highlanders strike very quickly in this one.
And nothing like scoring on the opening touchdown to really build some momentum and take some of the steam out of the Warriors. We'll see how they respond.
Fred, talking about these 2 teams, McLane coming in with 1 win and 2 defeats. They have been very competitive in those games.
They should have beaten Porterville in their opener, and they beat a good Mendota team in overtime in the second game of the season.
And the whistles stop play before.
The Highlander kicking game has been dicey at best. It really cost them against Porterville, and they could have won against Mendota late in the game with a little bit more consistency. I know Coach Pancotti's been working hard at that the last 2 weeks.
A lot of enthusiasm here in McLane Stadium. This is homecoming for the Highlanders, their 4th game of the season. We have had a lot of pageantry during the pregame and just had a flyby overhead as the extra point is good, and the Highlanders are off to a 7-0 start.
Well, Dan, we got kind of a late start tonight. Our officials, Angelo Pointer is the white hat, Carvel Jones is the umpire, Rich Fisker-Andondo is the head linesman, Dean Musgrove is the line judge, Ty Locke is the back judge, Anthony Ward is a side judge, Aaron Locke is a field judge. 7 officials tonight.
Fred, speak for yourself when you say got off to a late start. I don't think the Highlanders did, running the opening kick all the way back for a 7-0 lead.
And in 16 seconds, and it wasn't a straight-on sprint. He had to move and jive a little bit, break to the outside, and then he was untouched.
Now it's the Warriors' turn as the Highlanders will kick off. He's got a seam up the middle, and he just breaks this one, hauled down at about the 43-yard line. Jermaine Schexnader on the return for the Warriors. As he brings it out, they'll spot it at the 44.
Anytime you can start past your own 30 after a kickoff, you know you're in good shape field position-wise. Now, we're going to see a Warrior team that is really going to be heavy on the ground game.
They come in still looking for their first win of the season. A rough opener, but they've been very competitive in the 2 games since.
Well, a missed extra point against Chowchilla kept that game going into overtime.
Ivan Santa Maria, the quarterback, and just as the coach told us, they are indeed on the ground with the very first play.
Yeah, you'll be seeing McLane. They're going to go to a lot of single coverage and load the box up, try and stop the Warriors. They're going to challenge him to beat them in the air.
Nehemiah White with that carry. Second down and 10. Ball resting on Fresno's 44-yard line. Glad you're with us here on CMAC, our first high school football telecast of the season. We've got a bunch of them coming up, some terrific games on tap. Hope you'll join us throughout the fall. Pickup of about 4 on second down.
The Warriors have got to do a little bit better job at firing off the line. That started out, looked like it had some promise to it. McLane was able to stop the gaps.
Santa Maria returning to the Warriors huddle after getting the play call from the sideline. 3rd and 7 from the 47. In motion, Lee K. Rice. Moving the pocket, doesn't have anybody. Fires near the sideline. The receiver, Schexnader, leaning out of bounds, unable to haul that one down.
Real quickly, the Warriors head coach is Keith Pempek. This is his 4th season. Kevin Oakes is his chief assistant. James Tillman, Vincente Avadano, Nate Samanego, Big Sean Samuelu, the defensive line coach, Chad White, and Daniel Corona round out the coaching staff. That Sean Samuelu, I could talk about that guy for quite a while, but that'll be at a different time.
We're going to be on for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So the Warriors punting it away here on 4th and 7. Kick just booted away, and it will bounce at the 25 and take a Warriors roll. And it'll die and be down at about the 13-yard line.
You know, McLane, by design, they don't really have punt returns designed. Andrew Pancotti, the McLane head coach, when he was a player at Clovis East, his head coach, Tim Murphy, didn't even put anybody back because on punts he figured 3 things can happen and 2 of them are bad, and he felt if he had to start on his own 1-yard line, that just gives them more time to eat up the clock, which they did on a routine basis.
Highlanders with the football. Toss sweep coming to the near side. Spinning and loses the football. Football is on the ground. Question is, was it already down? Was the runner down? Yeah, the Highlanders come away with a football. That was Jordan Stewart on the carry.
Yeah, the Warriors looked like they were on the ball, but the Highlanders did have one man underneath. He sucked the ball back in real quick.
So they give Stewart credit for picking up 5 yards, brings it second down 5. Ball on the 17-yard line of the Highlanders. Out of the pistol. Give once again goes to Stewart. He's got the first down and then some. 3 defenders have him corralled, drive him out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Actually, Desir Newhouse on the carry. And they will say he stepped out just before the 40-yard line at about the 38.
Well, Dan, the Warriors were really overstacked to this side, and they didn't have a heck of a lot there in the backfield. They were fortunate that didn't go for more yards than it was.
Logan Sanchez, the Highlanders quarterback, operating now from the pistol. Whistles stop play.
The play is whistle dead.
Highlanders moved.
It's going to be an illegal procedure against the Highlander offense. That'll move them slightly back.
Twins, left, Lion, Bolero, Linda.
Yeah, both of these teams, Dan, have really been plagued by penalties the last couple of years. Last season was McLane's best season in several years. They won 5 games, and they're a better team at the same stage than they were last year. Their schedule's been a little bit tougher, so it might not show up in the win-loss record, but this is a real improved team over last season.
Penalty places the ball at the 33. It's 1st and 15. A little dump pass out of the backfield is going to pick up about 4.
He had to wait a second to bring that pass in, too. If he would have been led, he could have got some more positive yardage. And about improvement, this is the best Warrior team I've seen since Keith Penpeck's been the head coach a couple of years ago. Penalties just wiped them out in several games, and they've really struggled to clean this up.
2nd down and 11 from the 37-yard line. Logan Sanchez with the give, going to Newhouse. Cuts up near the 45, and that'll still put him about 4 yards short of the 1st down.
That was a nice run by Newhouse, Dan. He made something out of nothing. You know, he came and he cross-cut, and that gave him some really good yardage. This is a manageable 3rd down.
3rd and 3.
Newhouse coming out of the game. Big 3rd down and 3 now. Ball on the 45-yard line. Keeper by the quarterback. He's got the 1st down and then some across midfield and out of the 46-yard line.
That's the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, I like that run by Sanchez, Dan. You know, once he knew he had 1st down yardage, he just tucked it in, held it hard with both hands, put his head down.
Well, the defense had to make a decision there as the 2 backs in motion. And the Warriors are going to take a timeout, and they're going to talk defense as they just saw the Highlanders come up with a crucial 1st down there and punch the ball across midfield into Warriors territory.
And except for that one penalty, the Highlanders have made positive yardage on all of these plays, and this got to be a concern for the Warriors. You know, you give up that touchdown, and then you have something like this happen, and right now they don't seem to have a good answer to stop McLane.
So the 2 teams around their coaching staff. Highlanders back out on the field as the officials whistle the Warriors to come back out. 1st and 10, football closer to the 46th than the 47. Jordan Stewart in the backfield. In motion, Newhouse. Ball's on the ground. Bad snap, and it was down.
Yeah, Sanchez, when he went down to secure the ball, his knee was down. So right when I mentioned the Highlanders having no negative plays, they lost 5 yards. This is an absolute perfect night for football. It just went a degree under 80, and the flag is standing limp on the pole there at the west end here of McLane Stadium. Couldn't have ordered a better night for football.
It is terrific tonight. A lot of enthusiasm here for the Highlanders homecoming game. And the league opener for these 2 schools. 2nd down and 13, and they wrap him up in the backfield. Throw him down at the 45-yard line. Going to be a loss of about 5 yards on the play.
Excellent penetration by the interior line of the Warriors. They really overwhelmed McLane's left side.
So that brings up a 3rd and 18 with the football at the 45-yard line of the Highlanders. And they were in a 3rd and long not that long ago, and the quarterback keeper pulled off. And the Highlanders want to talk this one over a little bit more and call timeout.
Timeout called on the field. Timeout, McLane.
San Joaquin Memorial scored early to lead Buchanan 7-0, Dan.
Boy, they were expecting a big crowd over there. They were putting out the word. They were putting out the word for people to try and get there as early as possible. Maybe the big game of the night on the schedule around the Valley.
Yeah, and Central's playing Liberty, so you have the number 1 and number 2 teams playing, and the number 3 and number 4 teams playing.
Now that's only supposed to happen in the semifinals of championship season.
And these teams may be seeing each other again in November.
7-0 McLane Highlanders over the Fresno High Warriors here on CMAC. Glad you have joined us for high school football, our first of the season, and we've got a bunch more coming up in the weeks ahead. Highlanders took the opening kickoff to the house for their 7. And right now they've got a big 3rd and 18. This is Noah Zamora rolling to the near side, overthrows his man in and out of the hands of the defender.
I thought the Highlanders moved a little soon on that one too, but there are no flags on the field.
Lee K. Rice, the defender, had that ball go right through his mitts.
I think he was as surprised as anybody on the field. Roosevelt leads Torres out at Sunnyside 7-6. Getting late in the first period over there.
So the Highlanders set to punt the football away. Nehemiah White deep to receive. Almost blocked. White muffs it, trying to get away, but he cannot, and he is brought down at about the 17-yard line. Big rush, though, on the punter.
White did a good job not losing the ball at all. Usually when they'll muff a punt like that, it usually doesn't bounce in the direction you want it to. So the words could have blocked a punt and they could have muffed their own, so we're probably just where we need to be.
So Fresno High about to begin their second offensive possession of the night. And we had a penalty there. It will be marched back to, I believe, the 12-yard line.
Did you see what happened there?
I missed it.
I didn't even see the flag.
So 1st and 10 for the Warriors from the 12-yard line. Santa Maria looking to go to the air, wants to run, and he's brought down for a loss.
Santa Maria had no time at all.
That ball will be placed at the 10-yard line, so a loss of 2. Well, I think a loss of 4, and that the ball is on the 8. A little difficult when they've got lacrosse and soccer lines on the field.
Yeah, it could get a little confusing down there inside the 10-yard line.
And I'm easily confused, as you well know, Fred.
Yeah.
So you weren't supposed to agree with that.
Well, you're not alone.
So we've got a 2nd down and 14 from the the Warriors' 8-yard line. Ivan Santa Maria calling out the signals. Give to the back, and he is quickly wrapped up. Nehemiah White brought down him almost immediately on taking that handoff.
Good penetration again by McLane. Front 4 plus friends.
Brings up a big 3rd and 13 from the 9-yard line.
And you might notice we're totally nonpartisan here, but just to our left are 4 of the McLane coaches. So when the Highlanders have a big play, you're going to hear about it.
3rd and long, 13 to go for the first from the 9-yard line. Ivan Santa Maria operating out of the shotgun. Looking for a receiver. Ooh, almost picked off. It is picked off by the Highlanders.
They're still discussing it, whether I still haven't seen a signal. I thought he came down with it. And yeah, it's going to be the Highlanders' ball inside the 10-yard line. Do we have a replay on that? No.
Not sure, but
touchdown was signaled initially, but now the ball's being put down just inside the 10-yard line.
First and 10 for the Highlanders. Ball placed on the Warriors' 8-yard line as Noah Zamora brings the Highlanders up to the line of scrimmage. He's up under center. Zamora gives it to Rice, but the whistles stop things immediately. Let's take another look and see that previous turnover.
It's going to be an illegal procedure against your Highlander offense. And the drive them slightly back.
Okay.
Still first and goal, but now starting from the 13.
So after the penalty, makes it 1st and 13. 1st and goal from the 13-yard line. With the give, he's got running room inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line.
Boy, the soccer paint, you've got me on that one too.
Absolutely. Let's try that replay again. Let's see if we can see the interception, the Santa Maria pass. And the defender closed quickly. Let's come right back because the Highlanders are coming up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he had a beat on that all the way. He was reading the quarterback's eyes on that pitch.
2nd and goal from the 11. Stewart, the back, takes the pitch. He's got running room. Off tackle into the end zone. Highlanders touchdown. So that will always make a coaching staff happy when you turn a turnover into a touchdown.
And it makes another coaching staff very, very unhappy. Turning the ball over is never good, but when you give the opposing team the ball inside the 10, you got a real problem.
And the extra point is good, so the Highlanders jump out to a 14-0 advantage.
That was a little bit of a knuckleball, but it still managed to work its way over the top, so it works for the Highlanders. 2 extra points good, and 14-0 lead with just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and the Warriors have got to make something happen this possession.
This is an important possession coming up for Fresno High. They have been victimized once on the opening kickoff, being run back for a touchdown, and then the interception there in the red zone.
Well, Dan, this will mean nothing probably for anybody but me, but Wyoming has defeated Air Force 17-14 tonight.
They did pull it off. Your Cowboys victorious. That's a big win for them.
That's a huge win, and I'm pretty happy about it.
That's great. So the ball bouncing out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. Penalty flags fly. As a result, Fresno High will now go on offense.
Well, the Warriors are down 14-0, and they have yet to get a first down. So if anything else, they need to get a first down, just get something to build the confidence up a little bit. When they were lost to Morro Bay over on the coast a couple of weeks ago, they dug themselves into a 28-0 hole, and then they were able to come back and get within 2 scores, and then lightning into that game late in the third quarter. And talking to the Warrior coaching staff a few days ago, they were really feeling it. Well, they scored a couple of times right after halftime. They thought, hey, we're back in this, and then the weather changed, but they didn't leave the field with a bad taste in their mouth.
Well, the big break is the kick going out of bounds enables the Warriors to start this drive, this possession at least, from their own 40-yard line. So 1st and 10. Ivan Santa Maria. And the officials blow this one dead before it can start.
Now, Dan, this is what I was talking about earlier. You have some penalties that are just unacceptable. When your first play, you've got the kickoff, it's out of bounds, you have no excuse for not being able to get that ball in play. None.
5 yards back to the 35.
So 1st and 15 now from the 35-yard line. It's Santa Maria with the handoff. He's got some running room, trying to get around the end. He does, and picks up about 7 or 8 yards across the 40-yard line.
The Highlanders have to be careful on that. That was real iffy, that hit. Boy, when they cross the sidelines like that, you got to let it go.
So 2nd and 7, ball placed at the 43-yard line.
Ball on the 43.
Rice the deep back. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Rice trying to get a block close to the first down, and we've got penalty flags flying everywhere.
We had a hold there coming up. You know, White was just short of the first down by a couple of yards, and so this is, I'm sure, going to be coming back here.
So the hold is going to have the ball marched farther away from a first down as we take another look at this, and there it was. The wide receiver, Jermaine Schexnader, had a hold of the defender's collar.
You'd almost call that one a death grip. I mean, usually you don't see 3 or 4 flags go all at once.
Ball is placed on the 39. Second down.
So the Warriors push themselves back to their own 39-yard line, and
we have a 3rd down play here. It's only 2nd down there, but I think we have 3rd down.
have to get to midfield for the first. Quick out, trying to evade 1, 2, and then 4 defenders. And Schexnader losing yardage on that play. Sometimes, and you don't see it as often as you probably should, but sometimes a little pump fake by a quarterback can work wonders in that situation.
And that brings up Highlander Nation, I'm going to remind you.
I guess I was incorrect. It's still 3rd down. I may have missed something there.
So 3rd and 14. Now the Warriors have a lot of work to do on this play if they're to continue the possession. Santa Maria has the back at the near side wide open, but doesn't see him, and now he is going to be wrapped up and thrown down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, White was open out here in the flat, but Santa Maria, I think he knew he was getting it from 2 sides, and
he's hearing it right there from his coach, letting him know that
we'll see this again here.
He's got to go through those progressions. He's got to look for the various open receivers.
Stumbled just a bit, and yeah, he...
In his defense, though, coming back, that's a very tough throw to try and make.
It certainly is.
So Newhouse just across midfield at his own 49 awaits this punt. It will bounce at the 42 and roll dead at the opposite 42.
That was a great bounce for the Warriors.
So McLane takes over the football at their own 42-yard line, leading 14-0 here. Just 1 second left on the clock in our first quarter of play from McLane Stadium on homecoming night for the host McLane Highlanders.
You kind of wonder why the officials don't just let that one go and take that one click off at the end of a quarter. At the end of a half, yeah, that might be a little bit different. Well, the Warriors defense have been put in a bad position. Kickoff was run back all the way. They didn't have a chance to do much. And then 2 possessions later, they have the ball on their own 10-yard line. They have to defend that. That is McLane's 3rd called illegal procedure, and another 1 or 2 I think the officials may have missed. They got to tighten that up a little bit.
So the ball gets marched all the way back
Slightly back. 5 yards.
to the 38-yard line, 37-yard line. That'll make it a 1st and 15 for the Highlanders.
Butler 37.
Buchanan's on the board with a field goal. Memorial leads 7-3 late in the first period.
Noah Zamora gives it to, he's got big hole right up the middle. Pick up a first down to the 47-yard line.
Hand off into Jordan Stewart.
They're not going to have to move too far. And Dan, things could not have been any worse for Fresno High in this opening quarter. They have yet to get a first down. They get taken to the house on the first play of the game, and then another costly turnover. And they're really going to have to work. They need to get a break. I see the defensive coaches out there now. You know, you got to stop the man, but we got to force a turnover and get something happening here.
Jordan Stewart with a terrific run for the first down. So the ball will be placed at the 46-yard line to start the second quarter. McLane on top 14-0. They took the opening kickoff all the way back for a touchdown and then capitalized on an interception down inside the 10-yard line, and a couple of plays later that was turned into a touchdown for our 14-0 score at this point.
You know, last season the Highlanders were defeated. Fresno High only won 2 games last year, and one of them was a win over the Highlanders. I believe it was 22-18, and McLane just shot themselves in the foot, and that kept them from having a winning record. As it was, they were 5-5, but that would have given them 6 wins for the first time in I don't know how long.
Zamora with the give to Newhouse. Newhouse headed for the edge, knocked out of bounds, but not until he picks up about 13 yards.
The handoff is to the Newhouse.
Newhouse knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Highlander Nation, I want you to shout first down.
You know, Dan, all but a few yards of this game, McLane's had on the ground. I mean, they went between the tackles, they went to the outside, and Fresno High doesn't seem to have an answer for it right now.
Take another look at that last play. Newhouse works his way around the edge until a couple of defenders knocked him out of bounds. 1st and 10, 33-yard line. Quarterback Zamora with the keeper up the middle, gets across the 30. I think he picks up maybe 3.
Yeah, he earned those.
2nd and 7 from the Warrior 30.
Second down and 7 for the Highlanders. Zamora this time up under center. Quick throw, but we've got penalty flags and whistles stopping play.
Moved again.
Penalty marker on the field.
So the Highlanders get a big break on the run and then turn right around and hurt themselves with a penalty. Ball marched back and placed at the 35-yard line.
2nd and 12 from the 35.
Zamora coming back out with the play, facing a 2nd and 12.
Yeah, the Highlanders got to settle it down to get a little bit more discipline. This is a real surprise to see that many illegal procedure penalties so early in the game.
And once again, we've got whistles and a penalty flag.
Flag on the play.
There you see it.
Illegal procedure once again on the Highlanders offense.
McLane's coaches up here in the box stand are incredulous about how this can be happening. I can't blame them. And they're ahead by 2 touchdowns.
So instead of being down at the 32-yard line, the ball has now been placed at the 40-yard line after a couple of penalties moved it back. And it's now 2nd down and 17. Man in motion, they give to the back going straight up the middle, and he powers his way down inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line.
That Jordan Stewart, he's not a huge young man, Dan, but you know, he squares his shoulders, runs low, hits those holes hard. That was a nice run.
So they go from long yardage to short yardage. 3rd and 4 now with the ball at the 27-yard line. Stewart, the deep back, just inside the 35. Zamora barking signals, quick out. Receiver wrapped up, and he's going to lose a bunch of yards. There again, Fred, little pump fake, freezes the defender. And sometimes in that situation, do a little turn in, pump fake, and then go.
That would have had a great deal of chance of success.
So now looking at 4th and 6. Don't see Heidner Hare of a kicker as they are going to go for it here from the 29-yard line.
Get loud, Highlander Nation. Your offense staying out there. 4th down.
Rose the deep back. Zamora to the near side, throwing to the receiver. He's got the 1st down and then some, down to the 10. Still on his feet inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line.
You know, Boylan did a good job on that, Dan. Even though he was moving, he just looked that ball in. He didn't take his eye off the ball. He knew where he had to go to get the 1st down. And here we'll see it once again. Nice roll. Nice straight arm.
A nice straight arm as well.
That bought him about 5 more yards.
So it's 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for the Highlanders. Noah Zamora brings the team up to the line of scrimmage. 2 backs behind him. And a power eye. Give goes to Rose, and he's going to get across relatively easily for the touchdown. And the Highlanders push their lead to 20-0.
McLane! That's Jordan Stewart. The 2nd touchdown run of the night.
When McLean's offensive line was feeling it on that, man, we'll see this again. I mean, they just created a hole.
So the power formation, the power eye, and Rose takes it off tackle over for the score. And the extra point is good for a 21-0 advantage for the McLane Highlanders.
Good job for the Highlander holder on that. The ball kind of dipped down. It was a sinker right before he got to it. Did a good job of getting it set. And it wasn't beautiful, but it was still worth the point.
And that's all that counts, right?
Yep.
Until the day comes and they bring in some rule changes and give beauty points, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
I don't think we have beauty points in football.
21-0 our score. McLane out in front here. We are midway through the 2nd quarter on homecoming night here from McLane Stadium in Central Fresno. Glad you're with us. And what a night it has been. The Highlanders taking the opening kickoff all the way back for their 1st score, then converting an interception 2 plays later into a touchdown, and now with a long drive. Fielded inside the 5, coming to the near side, cuts up the middle, cuts back. He's over the 30-yard line, brought down at about the 32.
One area the Highlanders really need some work on is on their kick returns. They had one that went out of bounds that gave the Warriors the ball at the 40, but both kickoffs that were returned have resulted in good field position for the Warriors. They haven't been able to take advantage of it. And speaking of kickoffs, over at Sunnyside Stadium, Torres took the opening kickoff against Roosevelt to the house. Roosevelt came back, scored Torres come back and they had a 14-7 lead, and then when they kicked off, Roosevelt took it to the house. So we've had 3 kickoff returns in less than a half in 2 games here.
Give goes to the back, who's across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Nehemiah White picks up about 5 yards.
Run by White.
Now the ball placed at the 36-yard line.
Jesse Martinez starts the tackle. Revere Newhouse finishes it off. 2nd down.
White going to come out for a quick breather.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
Tell the backers, talk. 2 by 1 again, 2 by 1. Pass, here.
Santa Maria throwing to the far side. Defensive backs close very quickly and turn that into a loss of a couple of yards.
Oh, the Warriors are really struggling offensively.
Pass is complete. Steven Moreno.
Those are long throws where defensive backs have an opportunity to close very, very quickly.
Yeah, you had 4 men on that right away.
Get ready, make goal.
So Santa Maria barking out the play call there in the huddle.
Down.
Alongside him in the backfield, Damari Ferris.
Oh, it's double. Double for the tight end. Deuce.
Man in motion, Moreno. Unable to find a receiver, tucks it up and runs, picks up a couple of yards before being knocked out of bounds.
Good pursuit by the McLane defense. It looked like Santa Maria, had a seam over there, and it just couldn't quite get it turned around.
Brings up 4th down for the Warriors. Now they are going to boot this football away. Alex Lucero in to kick it away.
Right. Is back to handle the punt.
And deep to return it for McLane. Jordan Stewart. He will set up at about the 28-yard line.
Jordan Stewart back to receive.
Now that's going to take a McLane bounce. And roll back up to about the 38, where the Highlanders will start their 4th possession of the night.
A good field position at the 38-yard line with just a little over 5.5 minutes left, plenty of time, and as we said before, the Warriors just have to try and make something happen one way or another.
They need a break. They need a positive break. It's been a night of bad breaks for them. Penalties, the interception, the kick return. They've had a rough go of it thus far, and are showing the results on the scoreboard as they're down 21-0. So Zamora coming onto the field, leading the offense out. Jordan Stewart, the back alongside. He'll bring Newhouse in motion. Give goes to Stewart. He's got plenty of running room. Evades a defender. He's now got the 1st down. He's across midfield, knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
Boy, McLane is really feeling it. They're running downhill, it seems like most every play right now.
McLane Highlanders.
The Highlanders have not been able to stop Jordan Stewart tonight. And you get the feeling that as the coaches recognize that, we're going to see the ball going to Jordan Stewart a lot more. So big 1st down now on the Warrior 46-yard line. There goes Stewart again, and he breaks free. Looking for some running room, picks up a couple of yards. Actually, that was
Ball's
Newhouse.
Out of bounds. Ball's out.
Indeed it is. Warriors signaling that they've got it.
Yeah, when the ball was
and
out.
And they do.
It went forward about 8 to 10 yards here. We missed it for a while.
Well, there's that big break, Fred, that you've been talking about the Warriors needed. Now can they capitalize on this as we take another look at it? Newhouse On the reverse, trying to get around. Shirked the one would-be tackler and gets knocked out of his arms. And the Warriors come up with it. Nazir Newhouse
Hey, we're good. Let's just go. Let's go.
has the wind knocked out of him. And the McLane athletic trainers guiding him off the field to the McLane sideline. On the Fresno High sideline, one of their players being tended to. That's Alex Lucero, the punter.
Well, we said before, Fresno High really needs a break to try and get something going here. They got the ball now, first down. They're their own 41-yard line, but that's the first real positive thing that's happened tonight for the Warriors.
The Warriors offense, first and 10 from their own 41.
Couple of receivers split wide to the top of your screen. Two backs, could be a power situation with the up back being a fullback who will do some blocking. Indeed, that's the case, and the running back slips right at the line of scrimmage. That was Davy and Yotun. Correction. Nehemiah White, the ball carrier.
The line of scrimmage, and they're to make the tackle and stay ahead of your Highlanders. Second down.
21-0 our score. Highlanders out in front. So the Warriors just got a big break, recovering a fumble. Now 2nd and 10 from the 41. Blown play. White went to the wrong side of the quarterback. Santa Maria has to scramble on his own. Picks up about 3 yards out close to the 45 before being brought down.
Boy, those blown plays, yeah, they're so obvious.
I think the snap was muffed, and that may be what turned Santa Maria to the wrong side.
Yeah, he's just standing there kind of, okay, what do I do now?
Right. And the Warriors are going to take a timeout and talk this over. 3rd down and 6 with the nose of the football at the 45-yard line. They certainly want to take advantage of this opportunity to make something happen. But Fred, until the Warriors can get the passing game going, which is not really their strength at all, you're going to have McLane crowding the line all night long.
Oh, yeah, they're going to put 8 in the box, and I think we knew this going in, is McLane did not respect Fresno High's passing game at all, so they're just going to go with single coverage, crowd the line of scrimmage, and, well, if you can beat us with a pass, more power to you.
Highlanders back out on the field. You see the enthusiasm of the Fresno High side tonight. Good turnout here by their fans.
Yeah, there's a lot more people here tonight than I expected. It's a really good crowd.
And across the way, it's homecoming. And McLane with a very large pep and cheer squad this year. And Christy All was outstanding, Highlander band.
Okay, Highlander Nation, get loud and make some noise. It's 3rd down.
So the Warriors back out onto the field, led by their quarterback, the junior, Ivan Santa Maria. I take it back. They have a change at quarterback, and that looks like Delbert Hall now in at quarterback. Hall with a toss. Coming up, he's got running room. He's got a first down. He's got much more. All the way across the 40-yard line before being flung to the turf. And that was Delbert Hall.
That's it. That's the initial first down of the game for the Warriors. Let's see.
This is Nehemiah White. As Delbert Hall going in to play quarterback. And Nehemiah White doing a terrific job picking up a big first down for the Warriors.
2 good blocks there. Really opened a hole up for White to blast through.
And he had that quickness where it doesn't take a very big hole for him to be able to take advantage. And the ball now down to the 37-yard line. Best possession the Warriors have had throughout this night thus far.
First time they've been in McLane territory.
3:24 left in the first half. They would love nothing more than to have a positive finish to this drive before they go into the locker room at the half. Trailing 21-0 here from McLane Stadium. Injured Warrior being tended to down on the field.
We're hoping it's just a cramp.
Indeed, that is number 35, Vincent Ramirez.
Well, this doesn't look too good. Doesn't look like a cramp.
Ramirez, a junior. And they're going to take him over to the training table and give him a closer look. So first and down for the Warriors from the Highlander 37-yard line. Give back to Hall to White once again. And he picks up about 2 before being stopped.
Handoff is to White.
Things getting a little chippy down there. A lot of talk going on between the two teams.
Imagine that. Yeah, you have a lot of conversation going on during the course of the game down there in the trenches.
Two by one.
Now they've got a power formation here on 2nd and 8.
He's bumping.
Give goes once again to White around the far side. He's got running room, and he's very close to the first down.
Money down.
One very quick back.
About 31, DJ. 31, 32.
What's more,
Look at the spot, and I believe they're going to say he's 2 yards shy.
That brings up
Football at the 29-yard line.
Even though the quarterback change hasn't, we don't have any positive facts, but it looks like the Warriors have picked up a step a little bit here.
Rolling to the near side. He's got a receiver wide open in the end zone. Touchdown.
Touchdown, putting the Warriors on the board.
Lee K. Rice hauls that one in. Let's take another look because he came out of the...
He is wide open. He juggled it.
There you saw it, ever so close to bouncing off of his pads, but he managed to haul it in. That's Lee K. Rice, who's the hero now on the Fresno High sideline.
I think his life was flashing before his eyes as he bobbled that. He was able to bring it in because he never would have forgotten that one. And he still won't. Now the Warriors are going to use their 3rd timeout. I think they will be going for 2. Their kicking game's been a little spotty this season, Dan.
So Lee K. Rice hauls that one in to put the Warriors on the board and really energize their bench area. They are very, very excited about the result of that drive. A terrific pass by Delbert Hall, who has come on after the change at quarterback and ignited that drive, and then the capping touchdown pass to a wide open Lee K. Rice in the end zone.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him when the ball came down.
Oh, they're lining up for a single point conversion. That's Alex Lucero. And there's conversation going on between Lucero and Hall, which makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Is there something up their sleeve? Nope. He boots it through. It's good. And it's a 21-7 game.
Kick is up and good. 1:45 left in the first half.
And that, Dan, when you think you've seen everything in football, that's the first time I've seen a holder for an extra point down on both knees like that. I had never seen that before. Do we have a replay of the extra point by chance? Okay, let's see this again. You'll see this, Dan. See how he's lined up here?
That is very rare. You're right.
Yep. He about put that other leg up, but both knees down. Wow.
See something new every week.
Any touchdown is a big deal, but the Warriors now, if they can hold the Highlanders from scoring again before the half, they receive the second half kickoff and they could get right back into the game. And this really ignited not only their sidelines, but the fans up here. Fresno's fans are really whooping it up right now.
Well, one thing for certain, that long pass is going to make McLane respect. And the ball's on the ground, and the Warriors come up with it. Their bench signals that they do. Indeed, they do. The pooch kick works. Fresno High recovers inside the 40-yard line. That was huge.
Warrior ball.
Well, now Ivan Santamaria going back out at quarterback.
First and 10 from the 38.
Well, the ball is placed at the 38. As the pooch kick worked.
Yeah, you know, McLane, if they have a good hands team, it wasn't out there. Those are some big linemen, and they don't know the concept of a fair catch. Can't blame them on that. They just
give goes
fumble
to White.
Warriors got it back. See, that fumble went forward a couple of yards.
White holding his right knee, and he is down. And we've also got a lineman, Gabriel Azua, who came up with that, who appeared to be dinged a little bit. White up and limping toward the sideline. The officials trying to get both teams back out onto the field. Warriors can ill afford a delay of game penalty here. A minute 28 left on the clock. Fresno High trailing 21-7, but a huge break with that pooch kick after the touchdown as they recovered it.
Well, as you know from over the years, Dan, I'm not a fan of a pooch kick, and it certainly worked out well for the Warriors in this case.
Ivan Santamaria. He's going to go to the air. He's got a receiver wide open. Touchdown Warriors. Lee K. Rice once again. Officials are talking in the backfield, and it looks like is it a motion? I don't see a penalty flag down.
Neither did I.
Wide open. Are they bringing this back? The officials are having a conversation. It is a touchdown. It is indeed a touchdown.
Yeah, we didn't see any flags. Now they pulled a flag up and waved it off, so I don't know what was happening. Now, as we had talked about earlier, McLane was just concentrating on stopping the run. Now these last two touchdown passes, the Warriors have picked up on this and tightened this game up considerably.
Well, Lee K. Rice once again was wide open.
So Alex Lucero to try to point after hold of Santamaria.
Santamaria holding. And the kick is right to the uprights. It's a 21-14 game. So just like that, in the span of 45 seconds, this has turned from a blowout into a ball game.
Now you see how the teams are coming off. McLane is just trudging off the field, and the Warriors were sprinting off the field.
So not only do the Warriors get the break that you were saying they desperately needed, but the passing game, which we talked about, suddenly sprang to life and put two touchdowns on the board.
And we were well into the second quarter before they even got a first down, and now we got a whole new ball game.
So a minute left here in the first half, as Fresno High has struck twice in the span of 45 seconds and closed to within a single touchdown of the lead. A pooch kick once again. It is on the ground, and the Warriors are celebrating as if they have it. And indeed they do. It looks as though Delbert Hall was the man who came up with that football. So a second pooch kick is recovered. And the ball's at the 48-yard line.
For the first time in my life, I've seen 2 pooch kicks recovered. Let's see this again.
Highlander Nation, your defense needs you.
Wow.
With 53 ticks of the clock in the first half, it's time for you to get loud, get energized, and make some noise.
So Fred, do you come right back with that same pass play?
Get loud, bring the heat.
No, I would do a play action and see if you have a man open or not. Buy
They're going
yourself
to throw
some
the
time.
football. He's got a receiver wide open. Penalty flag thrown on the field. Around the far sideline, picks up a first down, knocked out of bounds. Another penalty flag flies. Is it a late hit over there?
Both the flags on the field.
The penalty flag here, closest to us and back near midfield, appears as though it will go against the Warriors.
And it would indicate where it was thrown over there. Okay, we're probably, well, where did we have a, what do we have?
So the hold is going to march it back to about the 43-yard line.
Big break from McLane.
Highlander Nation, bring out
44
the
seconds
lights.
left here in the
Light
half.
up
First and
tonight.
21 from the 42-yard line. Santa Maria did a throw. He's got a receiver near sideline, caught by Lee K. Rice.
Santa Maria completing to Rice. Second down and long.
The clock's moving 25 seconds and counting here.
To the near side, out of bounds, going Nehemiah White. Picks up about 3.
And the Warriors, I think, are out of timeouts this half too, Dan.
Yes, they are. McLane still with 2, but Fresno High has used up theirs.
Highlander Nation, you know what time it is. I don't think
And the difficulty of that is a lot of those timeouts were burned just to have conversation about play calls. 16 seconds on the clock. 3rd and 17 for the Warriors. Santa Maria, he's got time. Going deep for a receiver who got turned around. It was Rice once again.
Santa Maria looking for Rice.
Turned to the inside. And the throw was over his other shoulder. So now 11 seconds left. They're going to go for it on 4th and 17.
I applaud that call. You know, maybe something can happen. If you don't, you're going to take 5 or 6 seconds off the clock and still leave the Highlanders long ways from the end zone. Unless something goes terribly wrong.
It's the noise, Highlander Nation. The Warrior offense is staying out there.
3 wide receivers to the top of your screen. That's Rice at the bottom of your screen, who's been his go-to guy. Out of the backfield, in and through the hands of Nehemiah White, incomplete, and the ball's turned over with 8 seconds left on the clock.
McLane, Highlanders football.
I didn't like that play call at all, Dan. I really didn't. You didn't take much time off the clock, and unless he would have made at least one good cut and done everything himself, that was not going to get a first down.
First and 10 from the Warrior 46.
And now the Highlanders have one opportunity, but they're not exactly Eric Coryell either.
21-14 our score. McLane on top. Fresno High with a dramatic and exciting second quarter, striking for 2 quick touchdowns to electrify this stadium. And with 8 seconds to go, and the ball on the 46-yard line, they're going to give it to Jordan Stewart, and that will end the first half of play. So a terrific second quarter turns a blowout into a ball game as the McLane Highlanders sit on top now 21-14. Fred, your thoughts?
Well, I thought McLane had everything going for him, and they allowed the Warriors to get back in. You know, a couple of miscues, and especially those 2 pooch kicks. The Highlanders have got to address that, and it's really tough to make a big change on something like that at halftime. These are things that have to be taken care of during the week, and if McLane can escape and win this game, that's something they really have got to work on. I mean, that's a disaster.
So our score here at the intermission, 21-14, McLane over the Fresno High Warriors. We'll be back for second half action after this. College District. Tonight's game is presented by State Center Community College District, Fresno City College, Reedley College, Clovis Community College, Madera Community College Center, Oakhurst Community College Center, Career and Technology Center. State Center Community College District presenting tonight's high school football on CMAC. Well, this game had all the earmarks of a blowout, Fred Clark, and in the last minute 45 of the first half, suddenly Fresno High Warriors would turn this into an exciting game.
Yeah, they got it within a touchdown, and they had an opportunity to maybe tie the game right beforehand. They just couldn't pull the trigger on that last touchdown, but they came out bouncing out of the locker room, so they've got some confidence, Dan. Let's saddle up for the second half.
Well, as we found at the start of the game, you can't miss the kickoff.
No.
This one, the Warriors receiving, hauling it in at about the 8-yard line, coming to the near side where he's got plenty of running room. This is Schexnader across the 30, pushed out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So Fresno High will begin the second half on offense. Jermaine Schexnader with that return to the 34-yard line. And the Warriors with a suddenly very productive passing game in the final 1:45 of the half. Scored twice, and it's a 21-14 game.
And we'll see how the Highlanders have adjusted to this, not just on defense, but on special teams, on kickoffs. And again, they gave the Warriors good field position. And you know from all these years, I am not an advocate of the pooch kick. It worked out for the Warriors, but McLane kicking it deep. If you don't, instead of pooch kicking, knuckleball it down the middle. I don't know, we don't see that more often.
Ivan Santamaria, the junior quarterback. And here we go, first play. I'm going to leave it to you, Fred, to comment. You're speechless, okay? He's doing his Marcel Marceau next to me, the imitation of an angry fan. First play of the second half, you've had all that time to get your play call in, to get the play called, and you get a delay of game penalty.
Thank you. I was taking a deep breath. I didn't want to say anything negative.
Santamaria with the give to Sanchez. He's around the far side. Correction, this is White. And White with a gain of about 8 yards.
White is the ball carrier.
Up to the 37-yard line before he is brought down.
Well, one thing that
Bring him to a halt.
Fresno High has accomplished by having those wide open touchdown passes, it's really made McLane gun shy, and you can see it now. You know, you'll see how they adjust at half, but they have a couple of guys playing deep now, and maybe that'll open up the running game for the Warriors a little bit more.
Indeed, it has opened up the opportunity, giving them some gaps for the run. And you can hear how excited the Fresno High fans are. The toss sweep, waiting for blockers to set up. Cuts back. He's got some running room. We've got a penalty flag down. Very likely going to be a hold charged to Fresno High.
It's definitely a hold.
So much for the terrific run by Nehemiah White, which would have gained a first down. It's all coming back because of a hold.
Well, Dan, around the NYL, a few of the scores that they had announced here at halftime. Sunnyside, who is my favorite to win the NYL, had an early lead, but Madera South has come back to tie them at the half. And Hoover looks like they're on the verge of breaking, I believe, a 19-game losing streak. They lead Sanger West 19-0 out at Tom Flores Stadium. And Roosevelt leads Torres 20-14 late in the third quarter.
Santa Maria going to go airborne. He's got the back. Schexner. He's got Schexnader in the flat. Picks up about 2.
He thought about taking the shot. He thought about it.
So that's going to make it 3rd and 11 now.
That was good pursuit by the Highlanders. It looked like he might be able to break that. If he would have got past initial contact, he could have got a good gain out of that. And you hit the nail on the head. It is noisy over here on the Fresno High side.
Warriors to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 11 from their own 32-yard line. Ivan Santa Maria calling out the signals. He's got a man over the middle. Overthrow. No, it's almost picked off by McLane. The leap, he had it in his mitts, couldn't bring it down.
Kylan Worthy so close to coming up with an INT.
Kylan Worthy almost with the interception.
Okay, Worthy's doing some push-ups on the field for missing that interception. I like that. Oh, yeah.
Right down the middle. Couldn't bring it down.
As is usual, that's the punt for the Warriors.
If that was self-punishment, I like it. And if it's the coach's rule that you do that on the field, I like that too.
So the Warriors now going to punt this football away.
High snap, and he's going to run with it. Uh-oh, this can be a problem.
Big loss of yardage and a big break for the Highlanders to take over the football inside the 30-yard line.
That was a very, very poor idea, because there's no way he was going to make that.
But I think that high snap threw him off.
I think so.
That he felt that was his only alternative, was to try and run the football.
Well, and I'm not putting it on him. He was trying to make a play, trying to maybe make something happen. And it's easy to criticize up here when we see everything. Yeah, but we could tell it was going nowhere.
So McLane coming on the field now, 1st and 10 from their own, or the Fresno High 27-yard line. At a 21-14 ball game. McLane trying to expand their lead right here. Looked like some movement from the right tackle. No penalty flag thrown.
And McLean's been called for 5 illegal procedures, and that was the 3rd one that we saw here that looked like it should have been called.
Zamora handing off to Stewart. Plenty of Warrior tacklers on the play, among them Robert Azua.
Gain of about just a yard, makes it 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9.
Stewart, the deep back. Zamora calling the signals.
Again. McLane jumped again.
Penalty marker on the field.
I think it was a slot receiver in this case. Looked like he broke a little too soon.
So they march it back against the Highlanders. And what began as a big break is threatening to become a squandered opportunity. Now 2nd and 14.
Yeah, the Highlanders have just shot themselves in the foot with this time after time.
Zamora brings him up. He's under center. Stewart, the deep back, takes the handoff, and he is immediately hit and wrestled to the turf.
May have been tossed forward for a yard or 2 on that one, but the Warriors are playing with a heck of a lot more spirit than they did, and well, actually may have lost a half a yard.
He lost a half a yard.
The Warrior line, they're playing with some renewed vigor right now.
So a 3rd and 14 now for the Highlanders.
And this is like a no man's land, because they're not going to be able to kick a field goal from this distance, and you don't want to punt when you're this deep down. So they got 2 plays to get 14 yards. That was close again, Dan.
Gonna throw the football. Zamora, though, under heavy pressure. He fires. It's incomplete, and he is wrestled to the turf, and we got a penalty flag thrown from the defensive secondary.
On the run. Unable to find the receiver.
Let's see what the call is.
Incomplete pass, and that's a 4th down. There's a flag on the play, it's a holding on the Warriors defense.
Wow. Holding on the Warriors, and in high school, is it a 10-yard penalty? It's still 3rd down, okay.
So it's going to bring about a 3rd and 5 now for the Highlanders.
It will remain 3rd down, but now it's a more manageable 3rd and 4.
Give goes to Stewart. He's got some running room. He's up close to the 1st down before the Warriors pile on and push him back. Now we'll see where the spot winds up and whether or not they're about a yard short. The stick is placed about a yard short.
Dan, I like the way the Warriors really collapsed on that. It looked like they really pushed in from both edges and kept it from really getting a wide hole.
4th and 1. And the Highlanders are going for it. They've got the power eye in. Warriors stacking the middle. Give goes to Stewart, and he bulls his way through. And he has the 1st down and a few more yards.
Yeah, he had a little bit of initial contact, and he was just able to bounce out. That was a nice run.
Try it again, folks. First time you do it in the 2nd half. And I think the same Highlanders, you shot top of your lungs 1st down.
So the penalty becomes a huge break for the Highlanders.
Highlanders.
Now 1st and 10 from the 13. It goes to Stewart. Bounces off one would-be tackler and is brought down inside the 10.
The handoff is to Pearson Central.
Or you could say right inside the penalty area if you were using soccer vernacular.
Sing Sulin, the running back who had the carry there. Second and 5 from the 8. Back in motion, quarterback keeps it. Evades one would-be tackler. He's down to about the 1-yard line.
He's got 1st down yardage anyway. Now McLane has got to avoid doing what the Denver Broncos did on Monday night from inside the 5-yard line and fumbling into the end zone twice.
Now it's 1st and goal.
So Noah Zamora brings the play on, as the Highlanders' drive has put them at the 2-yard line, where it's 1st and goal. He's in. Touchdown, McLane.
McLane's offensive line got a real good push on that.
McLane! That's a touchdown run by Gustavo Castaneda. Heading on to the Highlander lead.
So the Highlanders come right out and punch it down and score. They set up now for the extra point.
Valadez on to attempt the PAT out of the hold of Lopez.
High snap. Well, yeah.
It is good. Did manage to get across.
It was really losing momentum. It was crossing over the goal. And that crossbar was looking like it was going back further and further.
So the Highlanders with a 2-touchdown lead now, with 5:44 to play here in the third quarter from McLane Stadium. League opener for both of these teams.
Well, Dan, with the NYL, as I had said earlier, I figured Sunnyside was a favorite. I thought Madera South and Torres had some, maybe a decent opportunity. Roosevelt's got a lot of talent, but with the coaching change, they've got off to a real rough start at 0-3. They do have the lead on Torres right now. And we'll see the Rough Riders in action a couple of times this fall.
Schexnayder brings it in. He's across the 20-yard line, cutting back, heading toward the sideline and up to about the 25 before he is stopped cold.
That was the Highlanders' best kickoff coverage of the night.
So the Warriors trying to get something going here in the third quarter, having surrendered the first touchdown of the second half. As McLane now with a 2-possession lead, 28-14. And Ivan Santamaria, the junior quarterback, brings the offense to the line of scrimmage. White, the back next to him, takes the handoff around the far side, and he picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards.
Warriors' offensive line got a real nice push right at the snap. They were ready to go.
Makes it 2nd down and 4. Ball just across the 30-yard line. As the Warriors break the huddle. He's got one-on-one coverage down on the near side. Gives going to the back, White. And he's dropped for a loss.
That was some penetration there by the Highlanders. That was Setah Hanna, and man, he really got in. Nobody touched him.
Well, that's something a young quarterback is going to have to learn as he comes up to the line of scrimmage, is to take a look at those matchups, because they scream opportunity.
Well, this is how you learn.
3rd and 6. And they're looking to throw the football. Dump it out to the back, and he drops the ball. Nehemiah White.
I like
unable
the way
to bring that one in.
I like the way Santa Maria set that up, because he looked long, then came out, just didn't work out.
And if White had been able to haul it in, he may well have had plenty of room to run. But now that brings up a 4th and 6. And the Warriors have no choice but to punt it away. Alex Lucero to do the punting. And the Highlanders will not put a deep back.
Here for the Warriors for the punt. Back deep for the Highlanders. TJ McLane, the 3rd.
Another high snap.
Gets it away. Bounces at the 40 and will roll to about the 37-yard line, where the Warriors will down it and the Highlanders will take over on offense. 4 minutes left of the third quarter. It's 28-14 McLane. And the last time it was a disaster on the punting situation that gave McLane the golden opportunity, possessed in a great spot, and the ability to mount a relatively short drive for a touchdown. This time,
they're going to have to work at it a little bit more. In Fresno High, it's like they've had 2 possessions this half. They went 3 and out both times, and they came out for the second half with some momentum. They were unable to capitalize. Well, maybe lightning can strike twice for them here.
Muff in the backfield as they can't get the handoff. Quarterback scrambling, trying to turn nothing into something, and Zamora picks up about 4 yards.
Okay, the Warriors just cost themselves 15 on this. We're going to have a personal foul here.
Mentioned things were getting a little chippy down on the field, and the officials are determined to stop it right now.
right at the end of the play. He needed just put his hands up and walk back.
Oh, thank God. It's on them.
So there you see it, the unsportsmanlike penalty. And that's going to give the Highlanders some big yardage. Should take them to about midfield indeed. Ball will be laid down at the 50-yard line.
And as you mentioned, Dan, you know, McLane, play started out, looked like it could be a disaster for him. They got a few yards and then 15 tacked onto that.
So the Highlanders hoping to turn the big penalty into a big break as Zamora barks out signals. Newhouse takes the handoff, cuts it up, picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards.
Looked like he was about to break that out and suddenly hit the wall.
One of the tacklers for the Warriors, Giovanni Murillo.
Second down and 8.
Number 2, second down and 8.
Give goes to Stewart.
Little if any gain on that, Dan.
Maybe 2 yards at most, but not much.
Again, he drives on the play.
Looks like we have a foul on the play here, penalty.
Well, they're coming over to talk to the Fresno High coaching staff. Looks like it's a sideline warning to keep his players and coaches back. They like to have that white strip left open so that.
Yeah, those are tough for, you know, the coaches are allowed there. None of the players are supposed to be out there. And, you know, when you get into the tension of the game, it's very easy to wander up close.
Timeout.
Officials will often warn teams. Well, they'll mention it, but if those mentions go unheeded, then you get a warning. And after the warning, then it's penalty time.
Mm-hmm.
The official has to have a lane to run up and down. So the Warriors or the Highlanders call a timeout. Probably heard the members of their coaching staff up here in the press box.
Yeah, they were all yelling
side.
timeout. I think they only had 10 men on the field.
Never a good thing.
But, you know, you hate to burn a timeout like that, you know, and those things, you hear this over and over again, but when you have to burn a timeout for, you know, knucklehead plays, it just drives the coaches nuts. But then again, sometimes the coaches call knucklehead timeouts too, or allow bad things to happen, like a delay of game coming out of a timeout.
Somehow I don't think you're going to sleep well tonight. You're going to be burning an ire about that one.
Well, if I don't sleep well tonight, it'll be because I ate a 2-pound burrito before the game here and I didn't take an antacid. And after a few years, you should probably catch on to that. And I still haven't.
Second and 8 as the Highlanders come to the line of scrimmage. A couple of wide receivers to the near side.
McLane moved again.
McLane definitely moved on that one. Newhouse. There you go.
7th one, I think, Dan. Coming out of a timeout.
Moves them back 5.
So back across midfield they go to the 47-yard line, their own 47-yard line. 2:55 remaining to be played here in the third quarter from McLane Stadium. Glad you're with us here on CMAC, our first game of the season from the North Yosemite League. Got a terrific lineup coming up in the next few weeks. Hope you'll make your plans to join us Friday nights at 7:30 for high school football. Stewart up the middle, back across midfield to the 47 before being brought down.
Well, got the yardage of the illegal procedure out of the way, and maybe another half yard on top of that.
As chippy as this game has been between these two teams, a lot of yapping going on back and forth. One of the things that I'm enjoying seeing is opponent helping up opponent off the turf after a play.
Yeah, you see a lot of that, and then with the defensive backs and the wide receivers, you see a lot of, just the low five when they're going back to the huddle. It's good to see that.
Brings up a 3rd and 8. Big third down play for the Highlanders.
Moved
and
again.
Off go the receivers in motion, and since this is not Canada, we would have expected to see some penalty flags, but we don't.
No, this definitely is not Canada.
And every one of the coaching staff members on the Fresno High sideline had their arms extended saying, wait a minute.
Well, in this case, it was a plus for the Warriors because play was a 0, and now they're going to get the football back.
And hustling back to field it, Nehemiah White.
Back to receive for Fresno.
They come.
Oh, boy, they were on top of him in a hurry.
Yeah, how did they not?
White fields it at the 10. Coming to the near side. Slips and falls on the artificial turf. Down he goes at the 15. And he had some running room.
Yeah, if he is able to turn the corner, they were already setting their line up over here.
Bad break for the Warriors, who will start from the 14-yard line after a good defensive stop. Prevents the Highlanders from adding to their lead.
The last 2 minutes of this quarter have taken just about as long as the first 7 minutes of it did. Okay, out at Sunnyside Stadium, Madera South and Roosevelt are tied at 20. Roosevelt ran the kickoff back, but it was called back for a holding penalty. 2.5 minutes left to play out at Sunnyside. Good game.
Give goes to Nehemiah White. May have gained a yard.
That's the Nino with the stop.
Clock continues to run. 1:40 remaining here in the third quarter.
Yep.
There's the pass.
Right there's got a blocker. He gets around him.
And he's got some running room. He's got the first down and more. Steven Moreno with the quick hitter turns it upfield for a big Fresno High first down.
And the young man that missed the tackle there, that would have been a loss, and instead he had got some good yardage on that.
Ball spotted at the 30-yard line.
First down for the Warriors this half. They started this half out like they started the first half out.
1:10 remaining, I should say, in the third quarter. Give goes to White, dancing around, bounces to the outside. He's got a blocker trying to wall that off. Picks up 15 before being spun out of bounds. And the Warriors are on a roll.
Yeah, I like the way he just bounced out. That was a nice run.
There you see it again. Look at the run off tackle. Had nothing there, but bounced it to the outside before being flung out of bounds. So the ball is spotted at the 41-yard line of the Warriors. 46 seconds left in the third quarter. On the reverse, trying to cut back, picks up about 3 yards before he is stopped and wrestled to the turf. Lee K. Rice.
That was a nice run, too. He made 4 yards out of something that looks like it was going to be stuffed for a loss.
Nose of the football at midfield with 15 seconds left in the quarter.
We're going to to get another playoff or not? I think so.
Hustling to the line. 4 seconds. With the handoff. And a pickup of about 4 more yards. That Damari Ferris, his second carry of the night. And that ends the third quarter of play here from McLane Stadium. Fresno High on a roll here.
Just like the break between the first and second quarter, they only have a few yards to go to set the ball. I like that.
28-14 McLane with the advantage here as we go to the final quarter of play. But Fresno High with a good drive going at this point to move into Highlander territory. So the teams will switch ends.
Okay, Buchanan, like last week, they were down 2 touchdowns to Liberty early. They've come back there, trailing San Joaquin Memorial 21-17 at the later stages of the third quarter. A lot of football left to be played over there. Yeah, that was one, Dan. Liberty and Buchanan. Liberty had the 14-point lead, and then there was still 10 minutes left in the game, and they called it because of lightning. I would have thought they would have maybe delayed it for 45 minutes or an hour, and it's really surprising that that happened in Bakersfield. That you'd think they would have wanted to give the home team any opportunity at all to come back.
Sometimes it's transportation issues and bus drivers on the clock, things of that nature at the high school level.
Well, I don't think Liberty would have much cared about Clovis bus drivers.
Third and 2 for the Warriors, a big third down for them.
McLane's playing real soft here.
Shirks a tackler, he's got the first down and then some, turns the corner, gets to the 35-yard line. Big run again for Ferris.
That was a nice looking run there. Where's he been?
And we've got an injured Highlander back near midfield. Timeout taken by the officials.
Well, he's just moving his feet a little bit back there. We're getting a little bit of movement there.
So the Warriors continue the drive, a big first down coming on third down. And the two teams will head to their respective sidelines. Defensive players getting a breather. Terrific night tonight. Weather outstanding, the spirits high. Homecoming excitement. Here's that play once again.
Okay, he got rolled up on there. I see what happened there right at the beginning of the play.
But Ferris able to get to the outside, get a nice pickup, and gain the first down for Fresno High. So the injured player now being helped up. And we'll head to the sideline.
Yeah, he was pretty still for a moment or two. Then good to see him up and jogging off on his own power.
So the officials blowing the whistles to get the two teams back out on the field and resume play here. Early stages of the fourth quarter. And the Fresno High Warriors have a very productive drive going. First and 10, ball at the 37-yard line of the Highlanders. Three wide receivers to the right of your screen, to the top of the screen. Santa Maria under pressure, evades the blitzer, gets back and actually picks up maybe 3 yards.
That was a nice job by Santa Maria. I mean, he looked like he was going to get it for both sides, just kind of stepped in and found himself a little lane and made something positive out of that.
He's getting up a little woozy. Delbert Hall up to the sideline talking to the coaches, and they are going to make a change, I believe, as Santa Maria kneels down on the field, and the officials have no choice but to call a timeout.
Almost made it to the sideline. But what we saw of Delbert Hall a little bit earlier, he looks like he's pretty competent.
Well, when he came in, suddenly the offense came to life as he had that Long pass for a touchdown that got the Warriors on the board for the first time, and Santa Maria came in shortly after and tossed another touchdown pass. And Santa Maria is going to come off. The athletic trainers are going to take him over to their bench to have a closer look at him. May have gotten his bell rung. So Delbert Hall going to come on at quarterback once again. And Santa Maria continuing to shake his head and pinch his brow. May very well have taken a knock to the head there on that keeper.
I'd keep an eye on him.
Give goes to Ferris. Ferris trying to bounce it out to the left side. And maybe gained a yard. They'll give him credit, I believe.
Stayed Hannah with the tackle for your Highlanders.
Well, they'll give him credit for a couple of yards and make it 3rd down and 5. Big play for the Warriors.
Well, they have 2 plays to get 5 or 6 yards here.
Down.
2 by 1, same formation as that last one. Oh, Trey.
Rolling right.
He's got some
Cuts
room.
it back up. And he is up near the first down as he breaks the tackle. He's very close to the first down. He may well have gotten it.
I think that second effort, well, we'll see where they mark it.
The spot's going to dictate.
Well, your Highlanders with the tackle. And that'll bring up.
He is just short of the first down.
And by the time the ball stepped, we're going to have less than 10 minutes left to go in the game. It's a huge play here for the Warriors. They got to convert now.
Absolutely. The game is on the line right here for Fresno High.
4th and 6. From the
9:52 to play.
Highlander Nation, make some noise. The Warriors offense is saying out there. Get loud.
And inches.
Hey, it's going to be a run up the middle.
And they may have gotten it via the penalty. So the McLane front jumped. And it is marched off for a Fresno High first down.
You know, Dan, several years ago, Edison was playing Clovis out at La Monica Stadium. And the reason I remember this, a friend of mine was a defensive line coach at Edison. And 5 times in that game, on a hard count, either at 3rd and short or 4th and short, the Tigers jumped, giving Clovis first downs, pretty much costing the game.
So the big first down for Fresno High. The ball spotted at the 23-yard line. As Delbert Hall in at quarterback for the injured Ivan Santa Maria. As this White
Hall pitches the ball to White.
Nehemiah White, the back, who picks up a couple of yards on that play.
Yeah, White's really taken some bruises tonight. He hits the line hard. He gets hit hard.
Indeed. 9:15 to play in this one. Now they're saying it was no gain on that one.
No gain on the play. Down at 10.
I thought he bounced forward a little bit on that.
I thought so too,
but we're not down there.
Give going to White, up the middle this time, and this time he does pick up some yardage. Maybe half a dozen yards.
Yeah, he got down low on that. Nice run.
And as you alluded to earlier, the Fresno High offensive line is really getting some effective push there.
That will bring up.
And where you have a lot of guys that are going both ways on both teams, you can really get that fatigue factor. And when you're going downhill and get some success, it just gives you a little bit more adrenaline. See, they're low. They're hitting it good now.
White to the outside, cuts back up. He's got the first down and much, much more. Nehemiah White.
White is the ball player.
And the Warriors are on the march.
We have another Highlander down here. I think we got a leg cramp here.
Well, I think that's what we're seeing in the late stages. These players are cramping up.
You know, Dan, what surprises me is, call me a quack if you want, but pickle juice is the best thing for cramps. I mean, you get some of these cramps in your calves, you take a shot of pickle juice, and like instantaneously, you're up. It's that, I like to say it's the shot of potassium, but there's some of the other properties, and I don't know why coaches don't use that very often. It's really not that bad.
Well, and it's not so much coaches as it is our athletic trainers.
Right.
And the athletic trainers, when you get into that, you get into liability issues, and they look at the research. They look at that peer-reviewed, published research. There hasn't been any extensive study on pickle juice, although people do say that it does help you recover from a cramp faster than the sports drinks.
Yes, and I'm 99% into that camp, and I hadn't even thought about that. Liability issues, yeah, there's things have changed since we were young men.
So we're at 1st and 1 from the 10-yard line. Hall keeps it, cuts up, bounces off a couple of tacklers, and is down close to the 10-yard line. But you get into the fourth quarter of games on warm nights, and cramping definitely becomes an issue.
And to us, and we got another Highlander down right now, to us, we're sitting up here, and it's now, probably in the high 70s. It's perfect for us, but down there you have contact on every play. And I mean, it's not just contact. You have collision, and they've got tons of equipment on, and, you know, after a certain amount of collisions, man, your body pays a price. I'm not going to get any more graphic than that on using the restroom the next day after a night of collisions.
Well, they are trying to stretch out the calf muscle, which would indicate that it is indeed a cramp.
And when they do that, I remember that happened to me a couple of times. When they're stretching out a cramp, it's like, geez, women say men don't know about pain till you've gave birth. But when you have cramps being worked out, or you get a stinger, that's
severe calf cramps,
yeah,
and kidney stones.
Oh, only one time. I know we could continue with this, but it would just go further downhill.
Right,
and we
exactly.
We need to
and
concentrate
we'll hear it
on
in our
football.
headsets from the guys on the truck going, "What are you talking about?"
Get them out of here.
So we've got a pause here as they deal with the injured player out on the field. As the Fresno High Warriors, with a tremendous drive going, they are now on the 10-yard line. It is 2nd and goal for the Warriors, trying to cut into this 28-14 McLane lead.
Okay, Buchanan has just taken the lead over San Joaquin Memorial, coming from 21-3 down. They now lead 24-21. Still plenty of time left in that game. And Buchanan, those guys don't quit. Roosevelt and Torres are tied 20-20 with 5 seconds left, and Torres on Roosevelt's 25-yard line.
Some great play all around the valley tonight.
And Hoover looks like they're going to break that long losing streak. Sanger West is not going to win a game. They're going to go 0-10, and you can take that one to the bank. And if Hoover was going to win any games, I think that was it. I can't see them winning anything else. It's too bad from what Hoover was just 20 years ago to what's become now. And I could editorialize, but I'm not going to be doing that.
So play is paused while they tend to the injured player down on the playing field. What a terrific night tonight. Weather great. Homecoming night for McLane High. Tremendous spirit here, both McLane and Fresno High.
Yeah, and you get two teams that are a combined 1-6, and the crowd's thinned down a little bit now. The McLane band seems to have gone, but you had a really good crowd for this game, and it was nice to see, because you know you get into the November and you have teams with losing records and the weather's cold, and you know you're not doing too well with attendance.
Well, this is difficult now for the players.
Oh yeah,
they've taken way too long to get that player dealt with and get him off the field, because now you've got other players that are going to tighten up.
Exactly.
And this is wrong.
Yeah, Yeah.
The player's hobbling to the sideline. Clearly he's had a calf muscle cramp. But they took way too long to tend to him down on the field. And it's not fair to the other 22 players who have gotten cold sitting on the sidelines. I mean, they have cooled down a bit.
But as you said, we have liability issues. They can't go out and just put them on the stretcher and take them out, you know.
Well, the offensive player jumped, so we're going to see 5 yards marched against Fresno High.
The call started against the Warrior offense. Driving back 5 yards.
If nothing else, gives them a little bit more passing room.
Yeah.
But not what you want to do when you're first and goal from the 10-yard line. Now second and goal.
Yeah, that's an optimistic way of looking at it, though.
Delbert Hall gives it to White, trying to get more running room.
He just about slid through that. And we got somebody else down now for the Highlanders.
The ball carrier is Nehemiah White. Indeed, timeout on the field.
Indeed. We've got yet another player down. He is bouncing up. He seems to be moving fine. Officials signal to the clock operator to keep it moving.
Yeah,
and the clock does not move.
Another NYL score.
He whistles again and motions once again. And now we've got the clock moving.
26-0.
3rd down and 9. Ball at the 9-yard line. Delbert Hall coming on. Alongside him in the backfield, Nehemiah White. Looking to throw it. And wings it right through the hands of the intended receiver. And incomplete to bring up 4th down.
Well, that wasn't going to fly anyway, Dan. He didn't. He was going to have to go to the ground to get that, which would have killed the play. And you know, when the Warriors had that little success, McLane's still playing soft on with their DBs. I mean, they're giving them a lot of room.
So it's 4th and goal from the 9-yard line. Playing of the game for the Warriors. 7:11 remaining to be played. 28-14, McLane on top.
Now McLane has 4 deep.
Give goes to White. It's a reverse. And a pass. Wide open receiver. Touchdown, Fresno High.
Just how they drew it up.
Going around, pass incomplete. Touchdown, Fresno High. Touchdown reception by Steven Moreno.
What a play on 4th and 9. And the Warriors pull one from the razzle-dazzle section of the playbook. Take another look. As the pitch goes to Rice.
2 guys wide open.
Steven Moreno hauls it into the end zone for the Warriors. A terrific play. And it's a 28-20 game. The extra point is up and good. And we are now in a one-possession game at 28-27 with 7:05 to go here in the 4th quarter from McLane Stadium.
I love plays like that.
Well, that'll wake up a crowd in no time. Well, then the question becomes, are we going to see a pooch? Or with 7 minutes to go, do you trust your defense to get a stop?
Well, you've had 3 pooch kicks and recovered them all. So 2 pooch kicks, recovered them both. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go with a pooch kick now because I can't tell. Okay, see over on this side, I see some good handsmen. Okay, McLane does have the good. They don't have any linemen except the man in the middle. But we're still going to see a pooch kick.
Alex Lucero to do the kicking. Will he pooch it or will he kick it deep?
Other pooch? Nope. I'm wrong again, Dan.
Bounces out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So not what the Warriors wanted to see happen. as you're now going to see McLane begin their possession from their own 40-yard line.
Boy, that's put them in field position like that. I don't know. That's second one tonight, one for each team.
So out come the Highlanders. 7:05 to play. 28-21, McLane holding on to a one-possession lead. Fresno High having some position grouping problems. Run up the middle. That's Stewart, and he's got a first down across midfield.
Yeah, the Warriors just got the man off just in the nick of time.
Yeah, clearly some confusion there.
Yeah, and the Highlanders exploit it with that run. Boy, that drive that Fresno High was on, it wasn't the longest drive, but it took a long time because of the cramping.
And once again, Fresno High having some issues with who should and should not be out on the field in this defensive grouping.
Yeah, they are. They're still questioning things.
We've got a whistle. The ball comes loose. Fresno High has it.
Wow.
And the officials signal that it is Fresno High's football.
Another big break for the Warriors. Let's see if they can capitalize.
I thought before the snap I had heard a whistle, but obviously not. No penalty flag. The officials never signaled any stoppage of play. And the ball is turned over to the Warriors, who come up. Let's take another look at it. Ball just came loose. And the Warriors were all over it.
Looked like he may have had a knee down, but
That was pretty close, you're right.
We don't have replays in high school football.
Delbert Hall remains in. Oh, he's got plenty of running room around the far side, down to the 35-yard line, and that's Nehemiah White.
And the Warriors' sidelines is on fire.
Turn the footsteps to TJ McLaren III. More than enough for the Warriors first down.
And once
real
again,
contrast here as Fresno High is just electrifying this stadium.
And you know, Dan, it's a replay of the first half, where McLane dominated the first quarter and they dominated the third, and now Fresno High's got the momentum and the Highlanders are reeling.
Couple of receivers at the top of your screen. 3 men in the backfield. Give goes to White once again. Off right tackle, picks up about 4. We've got a penalty flag flying.
Another hold.
White with the play. Flag on the play.
And there you see the call.
There'll be a holding on the Warrior offense.
Angelo Pointer with the call.
Moving back.
A number of years ago, there was a terrific official that worked Fresno State games, Mountain West, PCAA, Big West, WAC. His name was Aaron Pointer. And Aaron Pointer, in his younger days, was an outstanding outfielder in the Houston Astros organization, had a couple of years in the big league.
Really?
Not as popular as his sisters, though. They were all in the church choir in Oakland. His sisters formed a music group called the Pointer Sisters.
And we've all heard
big
of them.
gain, and that's going to pick up about 12 yards. It'll be a bit short of the first down, but still a huge gain for the Warriors.
You are an encyclopedia of amazing trivia. And if any of you people out here watching have not read any of Dan's books and you're into sports and you're on the maybe plus age of 50, I cannot recommend them enough. They're just great reads.
No, you're kind, Fred. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's something I haven't been called one heck of a lot. But thank you.
2nd and 9. Shovel back to White. He's up to about the 29. Brought down. And that's going to bring up a big third down play, about 3rd and 5.
You haven't
You know, Highlanders right now, they're looking tired. They're really looking worn out now.
Third down. Get down.
Let's go. Let's go.
Coming on the field with the play, Delbert Hall. He has come in replace of Ivan Santa Maria, who appeared to get his bell rung. Not a quarterback keeper. Give goes to White once again. Trying to cut back, but unable to evade the grasp of the defender, and he is stopped for a loss.
Well, we said it before, but it's not as quite as desperate it was before. The Warriors they need to get this first down to try and tie the game up, but even if they don't, they're not out of it yet.
4th and 4 from the 31-yard line for Fresno High. This is your ball game. 4:10 to play.
Well, you see the Highlander defenders saying, come on, guys, we stop them this time. Got to stop them now.
And let's see if he once again uses a hard count to try and draw them off sides.
I would.
It worked the last time. All's going to go to the air. He's got a receiver. A couple of defenders converge. It's intercepted. Highlanders have got running room.
Got a clip back
Down
here.
he goes, and indeed a penalty.
That's a McLane Highlander interception.
You know, Dan, this is one of the things that, you know, you've got a chance for an interception. You take the pick, but common sense would tell you knock the ball down. But I get it. I would have done the same thing. We have another Highlander down here. Looks like he's cramped up. Here
Let's
we
take
go
a look
again.
at it here. Two defenders closed quickly. Not the area you probably want to throw the football, but you're absolutely right.
There it was.
Dropping the ball, just knocking the ball to the turf. Could have had better field position. But McLane now takes over. 3:40 to play. And they're working on that right calf muscle, so it would once again appear as though it's a cramp.
So the call is an illegal block in the back against your Highlanders. They will maintain possession, but they will be driven back.
They only got 2 timeouts.
So the Highlanders will begin possession at, I believe, the 8-yard line. McLane with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Fresno High with 2 remaining.
Well, the Warriors aren't dead yet. McLane needs to get a couple of first downs, and above all else, hold on to the football.
Well, that's the big challenge.
You know, a good third to maybe half of the Highlander crowd across the way is now gone.
Yeah, there has indeed been an exodus.
North of 78 final score. Sunnyside defeating Madera South 52-12.
28-21 our score, 3:40 remaining as they're tending to an injured McLane player down near the goal line. The interception, and then a block in the back as the Highlanders on the 6-yard line to begin this possession. Had a lot of discussion going on both sidelines, teams around their coaches. So, Fred, we're down in the final few minutes of this one.
And
Warriors hoping for a turnover.
yeah, it gets to be real crunch time now. You can tell both teams are really fatigued. And Fresno High still, they seem to have a little bit more going their way. They haven't had near as many guys go down as the Highlanders have. As you see the Highlanders over on the sidelines right now, we still have the man down. But McLane, they got to get a first down or two, because if they can't make any movement now, the Warriors are going to get the ball back in good position. And Last time, McLane ran 3 plays and turned the ball over, and they look tired right now. The end of the game will not come soon enough for them.
Well, if the Warriors do get one last possession, the key question is going to be, can their starting quarterback, Ivan Santamaria, return to the game? We saw him really start to get the passing game going when he was in there.
Well, his helmet's back on him now, and if he would have had a concussion, they just take the helmet away, and he's still working there on the sideline, so I think we're going to see him again. And one of the things looking way far ahead now, and I think if the Warriors can get the ball back with 2 minutes or so left in the game, I like their chances of maybe getting into the end zone. And then you have the $2 question. Do you go for 2 or just go to overtime? And you know what I'm going to tell you. You're that close, you go for the win.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the injured player now makes his way to the sideline. The two teams come back out onto the field. McLane will start this possession from the 6-yard line. Warriors in need of a big stop here. And the Highlanders want to just make the clock their 12th man. Not insinuating we're playing in Canada.
I know that.
Run off left tackle, and it's going to pick up maybe a couple of yards. Then the clock continues to run.
And the Warriors defensive line, they were really getting down right there. They were almost submarining to try and make things happen. And don't go for the turnover right now. Don't just try and grab the ball, tackle, make the second man maybe give that an issue, but concentrate right now to stop them and get the ball back.
Gain of 4, 7-6.
Zamora barking signals. Give goes to Stewart.
Yeah.
Oh, he's punched it through a big hole and out near the 30-yard line. Big first down for the Highlanders. That would Sing Suley. Pearson Sing Suley.
And had that hole, and he blew through it. You saw how low he got. He really cradled the ball. He was going down. And now, just that one timeout, the Warriors are going to have to burn a couple of timeouts here before too long. Let's see this again. Oh, yeah, that was nice. And he was running low right at initial contact because he had one of the tacklers just bounce off of him.
There you see, clock down to 2:19. It is certainly an ally of the Highlanders now. Give goes to the deep back. Might have gotten a yard.
Okay, Coach, now is when Fresno High needs to use one of those timeouts. They don't want it to get too far behind them.
Sing Suley.
Once again, the ball carrier.
Well, Coach Pempek's not taking my advice. A couple of morons running across the field. I'm glad they didn't give them any camera time at all.
Minute 37 on the clock. 28-21, McLane leading and trying to run that clock down and leave McLane Stadium with a victory to open North Yosemite League play tonight. And Suley once again hits the wall, continues churning, and gets maybe 2 more yards. And now it's third down and a timeout is used.
Timeout on the field, timeout Fresno High, but it's the second timeout they're taking this half.
Okay, the Warriors only have one more timeout. Dan, I really questioned this. I thought, boy, use one after first down there. And, you just give yourself a little bit more time because when the Warriors do get the ball back, and they're not going to have much time.
A minute 19 is all that's left in this game. Time running out on the Fresno High Warriors, who
Big
have come
play.
back valiantly.
Now we have a Warrior down here with a cramp, but he's on the sidelines.
Pick up from where we left off is a 3rd and 4 to win the Highlander offense from their own 35.
Buchanan's added to their lead against Memorial. They're now up 31-21.
3rd and 4 for the Highlanders.
Huge play for both teams.
Whistles blown, and we have clearly got a penalty on that.
I think the Highlanders took a timeout.
Oh, did they? Looked like players were jumping in the middle in there.
They certainly were. I think Coach Pancotti.
Whoa, hey, he just threw a late flag.
And a late flag has just been thrown.
What's the flag on?
It's going to be interesting.
I'm not sure what happened.
He acted as though he was referring to a player slamming the football down.
I don't know what the flag's for.
See?
Yeah.
Does that again.
Now, if we're talking about unsportsmanlike conduct,
We're going to find out here.
okay, called timeout.
Timeout called on the field. Timeout, McLane.
Okay, now the flag's been picked up, but I didn't see him wave it off yet.
No. The officials talking about it there at the 35-yard line. Well, it does not appear as though there's any penalty at all. Merely a timeout, Fresno High. Big 3rd down play here. 3rd and 4, 1:19 to play. Just going back once again. Oh, big gainer. Huge gain. Wrestled down across the 40 at the 38. Football coming loose. But the officials say he was down.
Yeah, he was clearly down.
Oh, boy. Pearson Singh-Sulin. Terrific run down to the 38-yard line.
Try it one last time, folks, see if it works. You might be able to play Highlanders, you take first down. Good enough for another.
They walled the defenders off very, very well.
Boy, yeah, the Highlanders' offensive line, they just blew a hole open there.
Clock running now down to 54 seconds and counting.
Highlanders left, run one more play.
Short of a turnover, things pretty much hopeless for the Warriors. And the quarterback takes a knee.
That's it. That's game, DJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Once again, a reminder to all the Highlanders.
So the clock continues to run, and that is.
Yeah, the Highlanders are not going to have to run another play. That's going to wrap things up.
So the celebrating takes place across the way on the McLane sideline, and Fresno High regroups after dropping their 4th of the season. Terrific effort on the part of both teams tonight. The Highlanders victorious by a score of 28-21 over the Fresno High Warriors here from McLane Stadium.
Well, the way the game started out, like you said, it looked like it was going to be a blowout. And, you know, you got to hand it to the Warriors. They never quit. They just kept coming. They gave it everything they had. Just wasn't quite enough tonight.
Well, the strategy, the play calling, they had some terrific pooch kicks that turned into big plays. They had the reverse and pass. Some interesting plays, and the Warriors battled back, and certainly being down 21-0 at one point, it would have been very easy to fold their tent and call it a night, and they didn't.
No doubt about it.
So a thrilling North Yosemite League season opener tonight here from McLane Stadium, as you see the two teams shaking hands and wrapping things up. And McLane victorious 28-21. Your thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, McLane had the opportunity to slam the door, and they let Fresno High back in the game. It's a credit for the Warriors, because most teams, especially at this age, you get down like that, you just get down. And then you it's hard to come out of that. Fresno High did, and then when they got that first touchdown, you could already see the momentum switched. That sideline was electrified, and then hey, we can win this game. And then when they got that second touchdown, then it was anybody's game. And McLane, they're going to have to work on some things. I'm not going to say they were fortunate, because I thought they were the better team on the field tonight, but they've got to work on those special teams. My goodness, having a couple of pooch kicks like that, and they did adjust at halftime, but they got to work on that, and their kickoff game really needs some work. But their offensive line looked good, and they made plays when they had to, and they won the game, and now they're whooping it up. And I mean, the Highlanders, they were having guys going off hurt a lot there. They got to work on that conditioning a little bit. Indeed,
a terrific opener to North Yosemite League play, as the McLane Highlanders are victorious here tonight at McLane Stadium 28-21. Thanks to the entire crew out in the truck. The State Center Community College, our presenter tonight. Final score from McLane Stadium, it's the McLane Highlanders 28, the Fresno High Warriors 21. Good night, everybody.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Hendricks Chevrolet, celebrating 75 years in the Valley, and State Center Community College District, covering Fresno, Reedley, Oakhurst, Madera, and Clovis. Thank you for your support.